And also one thing when I
All right, everyone, thanks a lot for coming down. So we got a couple demos from OneFX and Equities, and basically software lecture.
Yeah. So, hello everybody. Thank you all for coming. As Jeff was saying, he's been our host for the last couple of years. I came to the second one when there were like 5. And now, you know, we got 25 people or whatever here. So, good for Jeff for putting these things on. So, OneFX. OneFX came about, I'll give you all a little history, because once I tell you what we do, it's so simple. But it came about 7 years ago. I was living in Argentina. And I was like, no, there's this thing called inflation. I've never experienced this thing in my life. You know, but in Argentina, it's real, like 20%, et cetera. And people are literally going across the border, you know, with cash in the thing, trying to get their money out of the country. And so I went to Uruguay myself, and they wouldn't open me a bank account because they needed documentation. I wasn't a cocaine dealer. But, you know, so I was really interested in this whole idea of inflation, capital controls and things. And my uncle actually told me a great story, which I'll repeat. So during the Pinochet era of Chile, they were trying to get money out of Chile, and they couldn't do it because there were capital controls. So they went down there, and they found the best racehorse in Chile. They bought that guy, shipped him up here to Cali, sold the racehorse, and that's how they got the money out of the country. So, anyways, as this was all happening in 2010, and these thoughts were in my mind, you know, Bitcoin came out. And so my original idea was I wanted to start Bitcoin ETF. And so I own BitcoinETF.com. And even the Winklevosses have failed, so I clearly didn't succeed in that venture. And then, you know, the next thing was like, well, let's start a wallet, you know. And then, of course, Coinbase, so didn't miss that boat too. And I also, you know, Charlie Shrem got jailed, or, you know, that happened. There's a lot of regulatory uncertainty about what's going on with Bitcoin in, you know, 13, 14, you know, those years. And so the original idea, though, was, and where the name OneFX comes from, is I wanted to create a wallet that allows people to hold currencies like stocks. It's because I really believe that the future of consumer banking is multi-currency, allowing people the choice, the freedom to diversify the currencies. And more today, you see that happen and coming out with different products. So I didn't get it done, but you can see it happening today. And so the name OneFX comes from this idea of one account, all currencies. So OneFX, that's where the name of the company comes from. But so along this journey of mine, I did actually build an app to convert currencies, to send international money transfers. And then I found out, oh man, you need a license to actually go live with this.
Oh, MTL, my friend.
Yeah, like what's going on here? I thought I was being an entrepreneur. But no. So for all the budding entrepreneurs out there, you know, don't start. It's a bad idea. But, you know, go for it, right? But you'll run into this thing, which is called regulation, licenses, and you're going to find out that, you know, it's a sizable check, you know, time, et cetera, et cetera. So that put the kibosh on this currency trading and international transfer app that I built, you know, 2 years ago. But through fortune and the rest of it, I hooked up with some of my new partners, got into the banking world, which is very ironic because my journey started with Bitcoin, and I thought I was going to, you know, take down the banks and the rest of it. And now here I am, a partner with a bank. And I'm here to tell you about ACH payments. Okay. Right?
I like it.
So, what OneFX is today is we are a mobile payments invoicing platform. We're FDIC insured. And I don't think anybody's done a study on this. We haven't anyways. So I'll just say it for argument's purposes. We may be the cheapest and fastest invoicing and payments platform on the market. We have a flat fee of 10 cents. That's 10 cents for a payment. That's 10 cents for accepting a payment on an invoice. I was in Wells Fargo the other day. Their business account costs $14 a month. You can send up to $5,000 to someone during a day, or $25,000 total. With OneFX, it's free. $70,000 is the daily max out of the box for a business account. There is no limits for sending to individuals. Venmo, you can send $3 grand a week or $10,000 a day. Our payment speed is 1 to 2 days. Unlimited built-in invoicing. We're probably the only app on the market that has true mobile invoicing, meaning you can both send and receive and pay an invoice all through a mobile app. PayPal doesn't have that. The rest of them don't have that. You can create groups, invoice or pay up to 25 people, all from your mobile app. You can upload an Excel sheet and pay 1,000 people, all from your mobile app. And this is also online as well. You can do mass invoice, mass payments, and that's really it. We're a mobile payments and invoicing platform. We move money around. And the other unique feature, which is also, we're sort of sleeping on this at the moment, but we're building it up, is we've basically got a built-in platform. All the wallets are connected, and everybody who signs up, their profile is also a store. So you're invoicing, you're creating items for your invoicing, but you're also creating your storefront at the same time. So when you're using OneFX, you literally can open it up, search for lawn mowing, and find the guy who offers lawn mowing services near you, go to his profile and pay him directly, instantly or next day to his bank. Cost is 10 cents. Okay? All the people on Etsy who are losing 8.5%, they need to come to OneFX. All the people getting 3% away on PayPal, they need to start invoicing with OneFX. Okay? We think we have a market for everyone with a bank account in the United States should have a OneFX account, because we're a complement to your existing bank account. And in the future, we'll add card, we'll add international payment capabilities, and we want to turn this into a global payments firm. So thank you all for coming. That's OneFX. We're available anywhere on OneFX.
Any questions or anything from anyone?
Yeah. So how do you actually compete against like what's out there now? And if I load money into your wallet, it sounds like it's a Bitcoin wallet, but it's for regular currency, except that you're transferring as your regular currency.
No Bitcoin. No Bitcoin.
So only as fiat currency.
Yep.
So how do I open up an account?
You have to get verified. We go through a whole. You're opening up a bank account.
So it is a bank account.
Yep.
So what is the plan beyond US? Because what about people in China? Can they use your platform to pay for services outside of China?
No, at the present moment they can't. But the vision is that we're starting here in the United States, and we're a great platform for businesses. A business can do 70 grand a day of this stuff. Instant payments back and forth, right? Versus, the banking thing. So, and it's a searchable platform. So once we add international, then we see ourselves doing partnerships with banks internationally. Now let's expand this, so now we have a global platform for doing business. And then it becomes literally like a Yellow Pages, but with a built-in banking and payments infrastructure. So it's like, I need a guy in Thailand. I'm just going to search graphic design in Thailand. He's going to show up. I'm going to be able to send him money through the platform.
When?
As soon as possible.
Yeah, so I work for a company, NeoPay. We do regulatory compliance for companies just like yourself. So I'm just curious how you got around the licensing aspect. You're doing it through contract as the bank. The bank is the one who's moving the money, and you have an agency relationship or some program service, right?
That's exactly right. The big pivot was becoming a software company.
But you're FDIC insured, right?
Yes.
Yep, the FDIC insures software companies.
The accounts are held in a bank in your
Oh,
It's an FBO account.
So, are you a network? Because it sounds like every sender and receiver needs to have a OneFX account, right?
Yes.
So if there's an institution that's going to receive a payment, like the guy who mows the lawn and you both need to have a OneFX bank account. Can you hook up external bank accounts?
Oh yeah. So basically, you send somebody an email It's exactly like PayPal. They get the email that says claim the funds, they put in their ID, verified, bang. Now, once they're verified, they can link multiple bank accounts. So once you're verified, I can send money directly from OneFX, my account, to your bank. Or if you're verified, I can send it directly from my bank to your OneFX. And you can have multiple accounts on there too. So like for invoicing, for example, you can designate, I want to be paid to this one or that one.
Sounds like a non-bank financial institution. Yep, I think that's
Maybe, I don't know if that's the term, but.
So how do you see, services like Zelle? Is that going to be an enabler for you or more of a competitor for you, do you think?
I think something like Zelle is, I actually use Zelle, or I use SurePay today because I was trying to use it. I thought this question might come up. And so, it's interesting. Zelle, we're really focused on people who are doing business, like the business, the freelancers. And so going forward, we want to add value-added services to small businesses in particular, and that market. So Zelle to us is, it's a competitor, but it's not necessarily in the same space. And we also think, or I do anyways, that, there's so many payment companies out there. We're all doing basically the same thing, but experience, the user experience is so key. And like when I used the SurePay today, I really was not a fan of the experience. I know for me, I love OneFX. I walk down the street, I get things done in a minute. I send money from E-Trade to my OneFX and then I diversify it into my other 4 bank accounts. It takes me a minute, it's so fast, so simple. I look people up, I can find them on the email. This SurePay thing, man, it's like going back to 95, with the user, the designer. So that's how I feel.
What's your user base like?
We released 30 days ago, and we have 5,100 installs.
What's your user adoption strategy?
Put out a damn good product. But yeah, really that's it, is we want to be cheaper and faster, and we want to offer new services all the time, and that hopefully add value to it. And
So how do you overcome the hurdle of people having to open a bank account to pay someone when that's not normally a hurdle? They just pay with a credit card.
these are, if you want to go to and pay at a store, you pay with a credit card, right?
To pay a bill, if you get an invoice, people are used to just paying with a credit card. So it's,
Right, and you're going to
they
be
have
told.
it's like having to open a PayPal account.
Right, yeah, there are certain things you got to do in life. And what I would say about that is, as a merchant, it doesn't make any sense to send invoices and give away 3% of your revenue. So if I'm a merchant, I'm going to tell you that I would prefer to be paid through OneFX. I'll give you an example. I paid Jeff the other day, and I made fun of Jeff about 6 months ago because I bought a ticket to this event. The ticket to the event was $5. The fee was another $2. And so Jesus, Jeff.
So I do have a OneFX, and it is very it's fast. It's pretty impressive.
So do you have any merchants offering incentives to sign up and do it that way? Because obviously over time, it's like the Starbucks app. It's going to cumulatively reduce the cost of payment processing versus, so they want to enroll them and get them using it. Have stores come up with incentive programs that?
Yeah, there's a friend of mine who he has a patent, and I really shouldn't speak on it because I'm going to mess it up, but it's for a card that offers basically incentives to like tradespeople. And so we were talking about some things, but the quick answer to your question is no. We're too new but it's a great idea, so thank you.
What bank are you partnered with?
Triumph Bank in Memphis.
Is it all B2C or is it B2B as well?
B2B, B2C, B2B.
Mainly B2B though, right?
It's the user experience is so simple, it can really be for anyone.
So that raises the question about the user adoption. If it's just word of mouth.
Was it a marketing question?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, certainly we're present on all the social channels. We have some limited data based on like Google AdWords, for example. I mean, I'm spending nothing on Google AdWords. I'm spending $20 a day, and I've got my cost per acquisition down to $1. But, you know, I mean, there's no real, so all the standard user acquisition channels. Yeah.
I sent an invoice a couple days ago for $3,000, and I paid $3 for it. Using credit cards, like I took credit cards. ACH is about 18, 19 cents per transaction. How did you get it down to 10 cents per transaction?
Basically,
And I'm willing to wait 3 days because that's my credit card processing time window anyway.
Basically, I can answer that several different ways. I could say, well, I chose not to be greedy, or maybe, you know, but I really do believe that the trend, or at least the, whether it's a real trend or whether it's just in people's minds, the trend, in my opinion, is the cannibalization of the payment fee, or at least it's going to be hidden. You know, they're going to charge you $14 a month, and then they're going to say it's free. So, but I really think I'm definitely of the philosophy that payments is going to be like email. I'm the same guy. I'm with Circle. I'm with all these guys. And so I really think that the future of payments is building value-added services around the payments. And so that was a decision I made to test this quote business model out and yeah, build value-added services around payments. I think that's the future.
And that's why the credit card companies are trying to get into other value-added sorts of businesses.
Yeah, I mean, I think the smart ones are. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it's, you know, it's a cannibalization. Everybody's, you know, and you know, I mean, it's not free. I mean, it costs money to send that money around. And I mean, like Circle, they just said they're doing it for free. Well, somebody's paying for it, and I know who it is. Their initials are G and S. You know, but so you got to come up with some. Everybody's got, so I think it's just an exciting time to be in payments. And there's so many other different business models that people can go after. I feel like there's definitely a merging of ad tech, for example, with payments. You know, all that behavioral data. Like, you know, the banks, there's, you know, that Cardlytics company, some of you do anyways, and they work with B of A, and I don't know them that well, but like there's so much potential with that Cardlytics offers and, you know, other revenue streams that, and I also think that while it might be, quote, scary to be like, oh, well, the payment is now 10 cents or the payment is free, well, really, I mean, now you're increasing the velocity of money, right? You got money moving around all the time. And so, I mean, there's going to be more commerce, more opportunities. And so that's just, again, you know, I'll be repeating myself very rapidly.
Well, we like the energy, man. We did.
Thank you.
So do you have any other anticipated revenue streams on that 10 cents?
Yes, absolutely. So the next step of evolution is, and it's still, you know, up in the air a little bit, but the next conversation, which is tomorrow, is adding a card, maybe international payments, but I definitely really do want to add the card because I feel that that closes the loop. You know, now you've got an FDIC insured account and you can actually go buy a sandwich. I think that's a really key sort of use case. And once we have the card, we'll also be able to you know, help corporations and other people with, you know, like mass payments to debit cards, instant payment to debit cards. You know, so I think that's probably our next step, and that'll be, of course, you know, that'll be another revenue generator. The other steps, you know, I'm a little bit, I don't want to say everything, not that we're that secretive, but you know, I think there's invoice financing, for example. We can get into that.
Factoring?
Factoring, yep. Then the other model is once we get, you know, 1 million people on this platform, there's a lawnmower, there's a lawyer, there's this, that, the other guy. Now you get into a Google model of people searching and, hey, I want to be the #1 lawnmower in my area, and I'm going to pay to be that guy, $1 a click. So I think that's a model. And then additionally with that, I did speak with a guy who runs a financial products search engine. So again, you know, there's the upsell opportunities in the wallet as well.
So with the card, how do you gain acceptance? I mean, is it going to be Visa or MasterCard branded? How do you get acceptance at that sandwich shop?
It would be a MasterCard brand.
Okay.
It's a Finity card.
So you bootstrapped it, you invested, or how are you managing your growth?
So at this point, yeah, we're totally bootstrapped.
So I know a lot of these factoring small business lending companies. When they do underwriting, they pull to small business credit report from Experian, Equifax, wherever it may be. And each one of those credit reports is $35. Right? You have real transactions, you loan help the business. By the way, I think you're charging too little for the transaction. I pay $5 for it because I'm paying $14 a month subscription is true, but I pay $35 on top of that for each invoice. Doesn't matter how what the amount. In addition to my credit card company, which they charge 2.9%, like you said. I just process $3,000 worth of invoice and I pay $80 for it. There's not 10 cents, obviously.
It's the race to zero.
You're waiting for one amount, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy with it because it took 4 days for me to get that money to my bank account. You're talking about a day or two, I'll pay a lot of money. Because I run my payroll every 14 days. That 3 days of idiosyncrasy, just to manage my cash.
You need one FX.
Well, it's like literally that's the way we built this. Is that so? You know, I don't know. You know, you sign up for OneFX, load up an Excel sheet.
Well,
That's
what
it.
unit do you become profitable?
Hey, Jeff, was this your event?
Well, we become profitable
No.
when we have enough users. So
This other guy, Alan?
What is that?
You know?
Yeah.
well, right now, we run a lean operation.
I have a coupon on my site. If you sell a coupon,
I didn't skip over.
it's like 20% off.
You gonna go?
Yeah, I'll probably be there. But
That's
get
it,
the
you know,
coupons.
yeah,
No.
it's a little bit
After
questionable
cheating, things like
because,
that.
you know, sometimes people come to us and they want to use our API, but they don't really want to play by the same rules that we have to play by. And so it makes it a little bit complicated.
Yeah, I was just thinking payroll instantly, it's like, what if someone just actually handled all the, obligations user API, their bank?
So, well, I didn't quite hear all, but yeah, the answer is it's hard to give out our API because, yeah. But we do want to have an API, on the other hand, for example, that integrates with like, more advanced accounting programs.
And I don't want that because I can launder $25 million a year.
If I give you my API, yeah, that's, yeah.
$7,000 a day.
He's doing it now.
We're friends, it's all
You
right.
receive email for my product.
Okay, cool.
That's awesome.
He and I'll probably be the biggest attendees.
Any other questions? All right, so what's your Twitter handle?
It's at OneFX Pay.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.